Tonight, a school bus crash in Hindsville sent 3 students and 2 adults to the hospital. It happened at the intersection of US 412 and State Highway 445 near the Washington-Madison County line. State police tell us a Mountain Home school bus collided with a Mini Cooper at about 3:20 this afternoon. That bus had 16 band students on board traveling back from a band event. 3 of the children were taken to a Springdale hospital along with 2 adults who were in the other vehicle. They're all expected to make a full recovery. Mountain Home Superintendent Allison Dewey sent us the statement today saying from her understanding, the other vehicle pulled out in front of the bus, and they're grateful to the bus driver for a quick response in that situation. She says the Huntsville schools drove the remaining students back home to Mountain Home in one of their buses and says she appreciates everyone who stepped up to help in the scary situation. Also developing tonight, Podo police say 2 people are hurt after a crash involving a train and a car. This happened just before noon at the railroad crossing near 290th Avenue and North Broadway. Police say the driver was taken to the hospital with possibly critical injuries, and the passenger was airlifted to a Tulsa area hospital. She's listed as critical but stable. Police say all railroad warning devices appear to be working correctly when that crash happened. We'll keep you updated on that investigation. A candlelight vigil was held in Fayetteville tonight to honor Renee Good, the woman shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis earlier this week. Event goers brought candles, flowers, and paid their respects. Event organizer Jackson Copeland said that through the vigil, they want justice to prevail and to honor her peacefully.
So important to come together against all injustice, because an injustice against one is an injustice against all. So if I do anything with this tonight, I would have hoped to bring the community together and to show that we will not stand for injustice of any kind.
Copeland says that while everybody wants peace, they also want their voices heard. The movement 5051 protested in Fort Smith at the intersection of the 74th Street and Rogers Avenue today. Their focus, the United States takeover of Venezuela, the Trump administration's comments over Greenland, and the shooting of a civilian by an ICE officer in Minneapolis.
Those of us who do have privilege in this culture have to put our bodies on the line and our faces on the line to stand for those who cannot and who are being terrorized every single day in this community, across our state, and across our nation.
5051 is a grassroots movement whose name is in short for 50 protests, 50 states, 1 movement. Well, today in Fort Smith, the Boys and Girls Club welcomed a world-class chess grandmaster, giving local students a chance to learn strategy, both on and off the board. Students took part in a hands-on chess experience featuring interactive instruction, a group discussion, and engaging activities. The event brought together about 50 young players of all skill levels, from beginners to just learning the basics to those looking to sharpen their skills. Internationally recognized chess grandmaster led the session, sharing his expertise and encouraging students to think several moves ahead.
Maybe this inspires them to learn the game of chess, learns the good things about the game of chess, what chess can give them back, just not as a player but as a person, and that can help them to grow into achieving higher qualities.
Gave students a rare opportunity, learning directly from a grandmaster. The highest title in chess comes through years of competition and dedication.
Why do this game?
Photographer not just in Northwest Arkansas, but across the state, died on January 5th. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman spoke with his studio manager and close friend about the legacy Kilgore leaves behind.
Kilgore was a beloved Fayetteville photographer who captured the soul of Arkansas through his lens, leaving behind a remarkable and lasting legacy.
His commitment to documenting as many different kinds of people in Arkansas and in Fayetteville as he could. And that's something he told me that he very clearly remembered setting as a life goal in his 30s when he first picked up a camera and decided that he was going to be a photographer.
Andrew Kilgore was born in 1940 in Virginia. Then a short stop in Fayetteville turned into a longer stay. Known for his stunning black and white portraits, he spent his career photographing more than 30,000 Arkansans, one face and one story at a time.
It's what I was called to do.
was to photograph the most stigmatized and vulnerable people in our society, as well as everyone else.
Andrew's work, which you can see actually in these boxes stacked on the shelves there, it really the thing about his work that has always been so impressive to me is the sheer volume. He set out to create an archive and was very intentional about doing that.
Andrew Kilgore left a lasting impression on Joshua LeMasters, one that would grow into a lasting bond.
I picked up a camera first when my daughter was born.
They met once in 2019 and not again until 2023, when LeMasters wanted to be his apprentice.
I sent him an email prompted by a Facebook post that he made, and he invited me over for coffee, and we just started a relationship from there.
Without color to distract, every line, every shadow, every expression comes to life, and Kilgore was able to capture emotion in its purest form.
2 or 3 years ago, whenever he had started kind of acknowledging his proximity to the end of his life, one thing that he always reminded me of was that a sense of humor makes getting older more bearable.
LeMasters says one of his favorite things about Kilgore was his sense of humor, and he had that until the end.
As we would review his photographs from the last 50 years, I could often see him connecting with moments in his life. And then those photographs sparking stories and memories for him. Andrew was really fond of this William Faulkner quote in the last few years: "The past isn't dead. It's not even past."
Despite his death, his work will continue to live on, a testament to his ability to see people, to tell their stories, and to capture moments that remind us of our shared humanity. His photographs continue to inspire, to move, and to speak long after his lens has been put down. Laura Castleman, 5 News. This weekend, the Arkansas Air and Military Museum in Fayetteville hosted their first ever ride-along event, allowing veterans, civilians, and children a chance to hop behind the visor of several military staples. All the vehicles were used in the military at some point, ranging in decades from the 1950s to the early 2000s. Each ride is 4 to 5 minutes around the campus of the museum, and as the driver shows off its special features like its stick shift, tags, and even possibly a rubber ducky. Museum Board of Director President John Newman says for many who have served once they left, it was the last time they were able to get in one of these vehicles. And by doing this, they're able to share that experience with their loved ones again while reliving it for themselves.
That's a lot of times the last time you ever ride in that vehicle, or you participate in that activity, or you see those planes and the equipment that you used. And by bringing them out here today, it brings back, myself being a veteran, it brings back a lot of the memories that you had during the war, or your time in. This is not necessarily during the war.
Newman adds it's especially special to connect with kids over the vehicles. The museum hopes to continue this ride along every month, so more people continue to experience their stock. Tickets are available on their website and the museum. Well, it may be January, but wedding season is right around the corner. Future brides will be on the hunt for that perfect dress for their happily ever after. But not all fairy tales take the same road. Hayden Balgavy has the story.
Listen, I actually brought her on full time.
Tiffany Miller-Stroud's job is complex.
Our goal is that you pick your music, turn the ring light to the Kelvin temperature that is for an outside time. But everyone kind of gets to pick a dress. I let them touch it, feel it.
Yet still simple.
This is the best day of your life. I want you to feel so beautiful.
The owner of the Vogue Veil in Cabot is still pinching herself.
I never dreamed of owning a bridal store. Didn't even cross my mind. I really thought that I'd be a teacher forever. I taught special ed in Cabot.
That was the game plan until life threw Tiffany a curveball she never could have seen coming.
I lost my husband Ryan to cancer in 2021, and so that kind of threw my life into a whirlwind of itself. Just being widowed at 29 was super hard to navigate with a 2-year-old.
With the help of her son Hayes and Ryan's family, Tiffany grieved while pursuing a new passion, a career that reminds her of the happiest day of her life every day.
I started dating Ryan when I was 15, and so it would have been 18 years ago, 2 months ago. And so, Yeah, 18 years is how long we would have been together, and we were married 7.5.
Since opening in 2024, the Vogue Veil has quickly become the next big name.
Full circle, because I just know that he would be so happy that I wasn't sitting in my grief, but I was using that to like bring joy to other people.
Tiffany not only found purpose, she found a partner.
My friend said, "What about in 5 years, Matt?" And I said, "Him?" To his face. Ew, gross. And then he was like, I literally just knew like no chance ever happening. And so there's just one day that I was like, are you cute? Maybe. So.
Now alongside her husband Matt and son Hayes, Tiffany is living her dream while honoring Ryan's memory.
It's always about the bride and the experience and not about making money. That takes care of itself when you take care of people. So that's just my hope.